Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to do some coding exercises for the arrays. So we would like to write a program to find the largest number in an array of 5 integers. First, we learn that how to declare and initialize an array. Here we need to declare and initialize an array with 5 elements. The elements should be integers. So we know that in the declaration we write down int, then the name, and then 5 elements, and we just randomly put some numbers, 5 elements for the array, and then we need to know how to find the largest number in this array. To do that, initially we initialize one integer as to be the first element, as to be equal to the first element of an array. This is just an assumption. We are going to first assign the first element of an array to this max integer initially, and then we are going to perform some tasks on and some iteration over the different elements of the array, and then we are comparing each element of the array with this max integer. So if a number in an array, if an element in an array is larger than this max value, we are going to assign that number to max. To do that, we need a for loop. So here we declare and initialize the array. Then we are initializing the max to be the first element of the array. This is just an assumption. We can put it to be like the second element, the last element. This is just an assumption to start from somewhere. Then, in order to find the maximum element in the array, we are going to have a for loop. So we are going to have a for loop that is int I equals 1, I lower than 5, I plus plus. And because already the first element is assigned to the max, we are not going to iterate over that. We could do it, but it's redundant because already we know that the first element equals max, so we're not going to iterate over that. So this is why we suggest to assume that max equals the first element. However, you can iterate over all of the elements and assume that max equals any of the elements. It's okay. So we are iterating from the second element till the end, and we are defining an if condition here. We are saying that if the element I of the array number is larger than the value stored in integer max, if this is true, enter this condition and assign that value to our max integer. So for example, let me just explain how it works. So initially max equals 45, and then for the first time when we enter this loop, we have the numbers 1, okay, which equals 12. And in this situation, when I equals 1, we have numbers 1. So numbers 1 means that the second element of the array numbers. And why, when we are writing down 1 here, why we are saying the second element? Because in C++ we start from 0. The first element is it's written like this: 0 element of number means the first element. Therefore, the first element, when we're writing the 1 value here, it means the second element. Okay, so it starts from 0. When it's 1, it means the second element. So it is entering the loop with I equals 1. I equals 1 when it is talking about the one element, the second element of the array number, it equals 12. So it is saying that 12 is 12 larger than max? No. So it's not going to enter the loop because max is already 45, so it's not going to enter this if condition. Then I value is incremented by 1 and I equals 2. When I equals 2, let me just write it down in the next line. So max still equals 45. We are discussing the third element of the array number, which is 78. So I equals 2 meaning that it is the third element of the array number equals 78. So it says that 78 is larger than 45. Yes, it enters the condition and then assigns number 78 or the third element of array numbers to the max. So now max is updated. After implementing this part, max equals 78. Okay. Then this condition is finished. We go up and we increase the value of I to be 3. So now max equals 78 numbers. So this is going to give us the fourth element of the array, which is 34. So it is basically in this condition saying that is the fourth element of array number, which equals 34, larger than the integer max, which is 78. No, it's not. Then it's not going to enter this if condition. And then max remains the same. Max remains the same, and numbers, we increment the value of I by 1, which is its max value now, because for I must be lower than 5, not lower than or equal than 5. So now I is 4. It's going to discuss the fifth element of array number, which is 56. So it is basically asking, is 56 larger than 78? No, it's not. Therefore, it's not going to enter the if-else condition again. And when everything is done, so that in the next round, we are not going to enter the for loop, because now I is incremented by another one value. It will become 5. 5 is not lower than 5. Then it's not passing this condition and it's not going to enter this for loop anymore. In the end, it is printing the largest number in the array is max, and max equals 78 as we analyze the code. So let's run the code and see how it works. Okay, great. So here we see the largest number in the array is 78. So this is the procedure how we can find the largest value in an array. If we want to find the smallest number in an array, we simply just reverse the code and we're just putting is number lower than max, and if this condition passes, we are assigning that number if into the max. Thank you for watching.